Hello everyone, I am CorporateNapps and welcome back to my channel. Speaking with you guys today about the importance of choosing the right loctician. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I am a DIYer. However, the first 6 months of having locks, I did go to a loctician. I went to a loctician for the installation of my BRAIDLOCs. And after that, the first 6 months, I stayed with the loctician in order to lay my foundation, to ensure that my foundation was strong before I moved into DIY. The truth of the matter is, choosing the right loctician can be the difference between your loving your locks and completely hating them and everything in between. The right loctician will have your locks growing and thriving and as healthy as possible. And on the other hand, they could have them very limp and not in a position to where you feel like they're healthy and they're breaking. So let's get into the importance of choosing the right loctician. Before we get into that, if you like this type of content, definitely thumbs up this video and subscribe, of course. If you want to see a more detailed or in-depth view of my MICROLOCs, join me on my newly created Instagram page. Be sure to look in the banner above or in the description box below to find out more details on how you can follow me on Instagram. Before I go into my key points, I'm just going to say that the most important thing when you are looking for a loctician is to do your research. Don't make any hasty decisions because you're ready to get going. Do your research. Make sure that if they have a website, you're going on the website to see if there are reviews. Try to find places like Yelp, as an example, which are places or websites that the comments or the reviews can't be filtered by the owner of the salon or the loctician. Try to do research that will give you a bit of insight into how they treat their clients, the cleanliness of the place, how comfortable clients are when they come into the salon, all of those things. Even if it is a home salon, it's important to make sure that you do your research and, of course, get as much information as you can, because if you are not a DIYer and will be going to a loctician to ensure the health of your locks for maintenance and upkeep overall and retightening, it's gonna be important that there is a level of understanding of what you're walking into. So keep that in mind to do the research and, of course, don't make a hasty decision. Key points. The first key point is that your loctician should be patient. Your loctician should be patient because you are new at this. You are not someone who's been having locks forever, unless this is your second or third set of locks, but you're someone who hasn't had MICROLOCs forever and they have the knowledge base that you need to be able to tap into. So they should be patient and willing to answer any questions that you may have, whether that's during your sessions or if you are calling or sending messages to them in between sessions. A part of that rapport, a part of that relationship is ensuring that that loctician can in fact be the person that you go to ensure that you're feeling that your hair is being taken care of when you're with them, as well as when you are in between your sessions. And the second key point is ensuring that you are in a comfortable and safe environment. Look, I don't care what you get done to your hair these days, you are going to be somewhere. If you're going to a stylist, a loctician, you are going to be somewhere in a salon, or if it's a home salon, for an extended amount of time. That's just the reality of it. If you have MICROLOCs, it's going to take at least a couple of hours or longer each time you go in for maintenance, unless it's sort of a regular styling scenario, which a lot of people don't do. They usually get styling during their actual retightening. But you need to ensure that if you're going into an environment, if it's a home salon or a regular salon, whatever the case may be, that you're actually comfortable, you're feeling safe, you feel like you can have your things with you, your purse and whatever else, and you're going to to be okay with either, leaving it if you need to go to a wash bowl or taking it with you, whatever that may be, and feeling as though there is no interruption, if you will, in terms of being comfortable. You just want to make sure that you're in a situation where, because you are paying your money, because they are not cheap to maintain, because you are paying your money, you want to have a certain level of service. Don't get me wrong. I know that sometimes you've been with a loctician, or you may be with a loctician for a number of years or a great deal of time, and locticians are human, obviously. Stylists are human. And so they will have transitions in their lives that may cause things to not flow as easily or as seamlessly as previous sessions that you've had with them. However, it should not be the norm that there are major interruptions when you are there as a client. There's the need to sometimes stop and take care of some things, whatever that may be. However, it should not be a constant interruption to your session. Again, you're a paying customer. That comfort and that safety is just an important piece of ensuring that you're being taken care of professionally. And typically a good stylist, loctician, if they have a home salon, they will give you a heads up that there may be a time period, or when you walk in on any given day, that, the kids are there, or, someone's having homework, so they may have to stop and talk to them 1 or 2 times. They will typically give you a heads up about that. And that's okay, because again, you're in a home salon and they have that convenience of having their business in the home. So just ensure that it is not the norm, and that there are not multiple interruptions that are causing your time with them or your appointment with them to be prolonged an extended amount of time just because they are having interruptions, things that are not related to your hair. The third key point is going to be that your loctician should be using natural products that don't have alcohol or things that will harden your locks. They are professionals. And so they should know what things to utilize on your hair, no different than any other stylist or someone who's a licensed cosmetologist. They should know the things that will allow your hair to, quite frankly, be able to thrive, but also to help it look and feel as healthy as possible. Most locticians and most stylists in general are comfortable with saying to people what they are using on their hair, especially more so today than in the past, because today people have so many allergies even to all natural items. So if you ask the question, they will typically say, here's what I'm using, or here are the ingredients, any of those things. So just ensure that they are using products that will in fact help in the growth and thriving of your hair. The fourth key point is that your loctician should be open to giving you recommendations. They should be able to tell you the things that you need to add to your hair, or, what you need to take away. They know about porosity and density and all of those things. And so everyone's hair is different, which means everyone's microlocks are going to be different. So they should be comfortable giving you recommendations if they are seeing or feeling something related to your hair that would cause you to need to do something different in between your sessions. So ensure that you find someone who's comfortable giving you recommendations. And that goes along with the other item early on where I said that they should be comfortable answering questions. But again, not just questions, but if they see something, they should be able to give you recommendations on what you need to do in order to right your hair. That also includes what you need to do, how often. So if they say you need to add moisture, for instance, they should give you the details, the specifics, not just you need to moisturize more. The reality is, if you tell me something as blanket as you need to moisturize more, I may do it every single day. My hair may not need it every single day. I may do it twice a week because I'm not doing it at all, right? And if my hair needs it more, I need to know that. So they should be able to give you the details on the what and the how long, anything that's going to ensure that you're getting what needs to be corrected done the right way. The fifth key point is going to be if your loctician is fixing something with your MICROLOCs, they need to tell you. A lot of people don't quite understand this because, in their mind, they're fixing it so it's not a big deal. Here's the deal. If a loctician is fixing a lock because there's a weak point, if they are doing something because locks are shorter in a specific area, whatever that may be, if they're doing any type of correction, fix, repair on your locks, they need to tell you. I have seen and heard where locticians don't tell people when they've had to combine locks because they were weak in a particular area or they've had to fix a lock. What happens, unfortunately, when a loctician does not tell you that they're making a repair or a correction or fixing something is that you don't know whether or not you're doing something wrong. Yes, sometimes things happen to locks that have nothing to do with what you're doing. However, sometimes, in many cases, I should say, it actually does. Sometimes it's the way you tie your hair up. If you're using a scarf to tie your hair up, it's possible that if they're correcting a lock that's in the back of your hair towards the, side of your hair, that may be the area of your hair or of your locks that when you tie up your locks at night for bed, you're including a knot in your scarf that may be too tight. And I'm speaking from experience, and I was able to catch it simply because I'm a DIYer. But that could be something that you may need to correct so that that area does not continue to need repairs or continue to be weak. So ensure that your loctician, and it's okay to voice that, ensure that you say to your loctician, in case they are the type of loctician that does not readily tell you, ensure that you say, hey, if there's anything in terms of repairs or fixes that are happening, or if you see weak spots, let me know so that I can know how to adjust my routine. For me, there can sometimes be a difference between a stylist and a loctician. And when I reference the word stylist, I'm speaking about the cosmetology area dealing with hair that does not do locks, but is doing relaxers and the weaves and braids and all of those things. And let me just clarify in saying that I think that all of those things are beautiful. I am not anti anything. I'm not against relaxers. I'm not against weaves. I'm not against wigs. I say you do what you need to do to feel good about yourself aesthetically. But back in the day, I'm going to say back in the day, I'm going to age myself. Stylists used to be called beauticians back then, right? So back when beauticians were doing hair, it was all about the health and growth of your hair. They ensured that they were doing things, or those who were well known, were doing things to ensure that the growth and health of your hair were priorities and that your hair was thriving. Things have shifted in that it is strictly about the beauty. So the old time beauticians, or the beauticians from back in the day, it was health, growth, thriving, which of course equated to beauty. Your hair ended up having a nice aesthetic to it. However, today, much of what happens to your regular hair, real hair, the hair that actually grows out of your scalp, isn't taken into consideration. And this is just a generalization. But if you pay attention to a lot of what's happening with our hair, much of what you see are, of course, the weaves, the braids, the wigs, any type of extension, and essentially completely covering your hair that grows out of your scalp. It's actually to the extent where people don't even care about the health of their hair, meaning the individual. And so stylists today, if you go into a salon and it's someone who's well known for doing these great weaves, wigs, braids, wherever you're going for that, and that is the majority of what that stylist does, they normally are not doing any type of washing, conditioning, putting you under the dryer or roller sets, whatever that used to look like. They normally are not even doing that health portion to treat your natural hair or your real hair that's growing out of your scalp. As a matter of fact, many times when you go to a salon and you're getting the hair added or wigs or whatever the case may be, you go with your hair already prepped and ready for the installation of what you're going to get. So what that means for a lot of people is their regular hair that's growing out of their head is not even being treated by a professional. They are essentially doing whatever they know to do or can do, or not doing anything at all to their regular hair. The difference for me with a loctician, someone who's doing MICROLOCs or regular locks, whatever that may be, they are treating your real hair. And so there's nothing that's covered up or masked in that process. That just leads me to my sixth key point is your loctician should have you wanting to come back. Going to that salon should be a respite from your regular day-to-day of doing your hair. So that's the sixth key point for me. Again, when it relates to stylists, what I'm mentioning is a generalization, and keep in mind that many of those people, they do different types of hair. They do everything from the added hair, wigs, weaves, braids, all of those things, as well as treating regular hair or your hair that actually grows out of your scalp. But I will say that a number of those people, if they are known for the added hair, many of them are only doing that type of hair. Not a bad thing. It's people's preference. You do what you need to do or what you want to do to ensure that your aesthetics are what you want them to be. And there you have it. Those are my 6 key points. I hope that everyone is doing well. I hope that you all are staying safe, and take care.